Awesome. So we're here in Brennan Woods, New Hampshire, with the champion of Race the Cog, defending champion Joseph Gray, joining us from Colorado. You ran 40:09, I think, today.
Okay.
How'd it feel out there? Tell us a little bit about the day.
It was a good day, man. I mean, it's a little bit wetter today, so a little bit more wet.
Yeah.
But the course was definitely more slick than last year, and last year, I mean, we had pretty good weather last year. There was no wind last year, so you got to deal with the elements. But at the same time, I think it was just more so for me, just making sure I had a good, solid effort as I go into that next training phase. And it's a great course to test yourself on. You definitely test your technical climbing ability and loose footing. So it'll spike your heart rate a lot of different times. And it was fun race.
Definitely, yeah. And you're obviously very familiar with Mount Washington with in a number of different ways, with both the Race of the Cog and then Mount Washington road race, which you're just coming off of a big win there last weekend.
Yeah.
Your seventh victory, tying with, I think, Bob Hodge, right?
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be back next year for that eighth one. Anything special about this year's race at Mount Washington for you, or?
I mean, I think every race is kind of special in that you're not promised tomorrow. So anytime you can get to a start line and get the opportunity to race is pretty special in itself. But having Bob there, he had wrote me a message saying he was going to be there to greet me, and
that was super cool.
Yeah, it was kind of neat to have those two generations linked up like that, and special to actually seal the win, even though it was definitely going to be a tough competition. Yeah. So. That, I mean, if anything, that was special. The weather was special, so it's a new challenge every time you win, it seems like.
Yeah. Are there any? Yeah. Obviously, you're coming from Colorado, but you're a frequent visitor of the East Coast. How would you say the terrain kind of compares, or what's unique about the terrain here compared to some of the other places you've traveled in the world?
The terrain here reminds me a lot of Washington State and kind of like Austria. It's very green, beautiful terrain. You got the trees with you for quite a bit of vertical, whereas in Colorado, if you were to climb around that same time, effort-wise, you'd probably be out of the trees. So it's pretty cool to have the trees still around you and see that green. It's really beautiful, but it's different, and also the terrain, I think, can be more technical, lower down, lower elevations here. So. It's a different feel, definitely. Many of us come from Colorado. It might be kind of tricky for us. You guys have a lot of loose stuff out here too. So ours, Rocky Mountains, it's more rocky, more hard packed. But man, it's always cool to kind of mix it up.
For sure, yeah. And speaking of Austria, you just came back from a trip there, fifth in the vertical race, right?
Yep.
That was incredible result, and I just wanted to mention that. And anything more you want to share about your experience there, or?
Oh man, no, it was just great to represent Team USA again, and I did what I could and tried to and led the team, and was just hoping that we could maybe sneak in a medal as a team, but it's tough. There's some really good teams out there, and just to get top 5, top 6 is tough. You got a lot of good European and African countries, so you really can't have. And no one can have a bad day. Even the last guy who displaces other athletes, your fourth runner, he has to have kind of a strong day nowadays too. So it ends up mattering because it's so competitive up front and in the middle. So it's interesting.
Well, I'm sure you inspire all the other folks on the team, and you've been a member of the team. How many times have you been a member of the team? It's quite a few.
I mean. I think 2008 was my first team, and I've made it ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what's next? Anything on the calendar coming up?
I mean, Pikes is the next big one on the menu, and other than that, I might squeeze in a few other races here and there.
Awesome.
In between time, since it's a long time from now, they moved it to September.
Pikes is okay, so and that's part of the Golden Trail series, or?
I believe so.
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
I believe so.
So that'll have some good competition to mix it up with.
For sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, great chatting. Anything else you want to? I guess maybe something to share for you know, folks maybe newer to mountain running, why should more folks experience these mountains or just mountain running in general?
I mean, it's always good to test something new, you know. Nothing wrong with doing that, and life is short, so why not, you know, try something new and see how you like it.
Why not? All right. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.